Welcome back, all you Fabricans and Fleshbags, to the super, not funny show reviews. And today, I'm reviewing Young Rock Season 2, Episode 1, entitled Unprecedented Fatherhood. So, was it good? Was it bad? And should you be watching? Young Rock Season 2 premiered, finally. Felt like forever. Felt like forever before we got this episode. It was a mid-season replacement last year, and I guess it's a mid-season something this year. Not sure, but hey, we got more Young Rock. After that really fun Christmas special they had, that kind of tied us over until this one. And so we get back to seeing Young Rock, young Dwayne Johnson, in three stages of his life as he deals with the changing tides of fortune, I suppose you could say. And it's called Unprecedented Father, and as you can imagine, Rocky is kind of front and center in all three stories. Now, I imagine that this is probably going to be like last season, where the very first episode does show you all three of the young Dewey and his reactions to the situation in life. And of course, this is all continues to be framed by Randall Park as himself interviewing Dwayne Johnson running for president in 2032, and it's leading up to it. Apparently, he's looking good to actually win. If he actually wins, that remains to be seen through this show. But the episode really centers around the highs and lows of Dwayne's life at the time. As when he's a kid, his dad's flying high as he's a member of the first black tag team champions of the WWE, Rocky Johnson and Tony Atlas, and kind of getting jealous about how much his parents pay attention to Tony Atlas when they go out to eat, and also how his own father's jealousy kind of sort of mirrors his own of Tony Atlas's rise and fame and all that good stuff. But he's a young kid, doesn't quite understand that. And then later on, as their fortunes wane and his dad still kind of faking it to make it, and he has to move out to Nashville away from Hawaii, and how that changed, and sort of his outlook not just on life, but also seeing his dad in a sort of a different way, the way he's not just a hustler, but he's also sort of in denial about the way fortunes are and everything. And so it starts his reorientation of what life is like and what his dad may be like. It's when he's 15, and of course later on when he's in his he's in his 20s, and he goes up to Canada to play in the CFL, and the way things sort of aren't quite working out the way he thinks they should, and continuing to try to follow his dreams. And we get introduced to his future wife, Danny Garcia, and we see like the start of how her influence is on her, because she was conspicuously absent from the first season. So now we do see some more of her. Very interesting stuff. Only problem I had with this episode was it wasn't very funny. This is supposed to be a comedy, and I didn't spend too much time laughing. I got maybe a couple good laughs, but generally speaking, I knew it where it was supposed to be funny, but I don't really recall thinking too much of it was all that funny. There was some interest. I mean, it's interesting to learn these things and all that stuff, but this is meant to be a sitcom or some kind of comedy. And the framing device for some reason, the chemistry between Randall Park and Dwayne Johnson just didn't hit like it did in the first season. So I was very disappointed in sort of that. And just the setup for jokes and all that, the situation, they weren't terribly funny. So I actually kind of came away from this episode sort of cold on it, to be honest. I had high hopes because I really loved season 1 of Young Rock, and this just didn't even rise to the level of the worst episode in the previous season. Very disappointed. It's not going to drive me away from this show, but it definitely does make me give me pause, because I've been really looking forward to this show, and this just didn't deliver. So hopefully next week's episode will be better, and we'll really recapture spirit that the first season had. So, well, those are my thoughts on this episode. What did you guys think about it? Did you get to see it? And if you did you agree with me? Not agree with me? Why don't you get down in the comments, let me know what you're thinking. Of course, you can always hit me up, supernotfunnyshow@gmail.com or at supernotfunnys1 on Twitter. And we can chop it up. And hopefully, the show will pick up in the future. All right, all you Fabricants and Fleshbags, thanks for joining me on this review. Come back next week. I will be reviewing episode 2 of Young Rock Season 2. Till then, I've been Malde Poupée, your resident fabricant and comment extraordinaire on all things pop culture. And I'll see you guys on the other side of the thread. Peace.